In the summer of 1993, in the quiet suburb of Longwood, where everyone knew each other, a tragedy occurred that turned into a lingering mystery. 3 girls from a secluded monastery school vanished without a trace. The monks remained silent, the police shrugged, and the parents slowly began to lose their minds. 30 years later, during the demolition of the old building, a chance discovery shook the town. In the basement, officially unknown to anyone, a sealed door was found. Behind it, a scene so haunting that even seasoned investigators struggled to keep their composure. A school where questions were not allowed at the monastery school in Longwood was known for its strict discipline. Girls were sent there to keep them on the right path. The monks spoke little. The walls seemed soaked in silence and cold. Claire Hanley, Sophia Brooks, and Isabel Martin were good students. They never complained, never misbehaved, and were praised by teachers. Each had dreams. One wanted to become a writer, another dreamed of singing in a choir, the third hoped to study medicine. But on August 13, 1993, they vanished. Their belongings were left in class, their diaries in drawers. No one saw them leave. The entrance cameras showed nothing. The official Leith Monastery claimed the girls were sent home for breaking school rules. Parents only found out that evening. Not a single teacher confirmed the dismissal. The expulsion documents were dated retroactively. The trial began a month later. The abbot remained silent. Sister Margaret was held responsible, but experts proved her signature was forged. No signs of violence, no bodies, no prints. Everything pointed to the girls vanishing into thin air. The police closed the case as voluntary departure. The parents were left alone. They launched their own investigation, spoke with former students, contacted other monasteries, hired private detectives. Whispers beneath the gym in 2023. Nearly 30 years later, the school was deemed hazardous. The building was sold for demolition, with plans to build a sports complex. During floor demolition beneath the gym, a digger struck something strange, a concrete compartment with an iron door. It was barred, sealed with plaster. It took rescue tools to open. Behind it was a narrow spiral staircase leading downward. Workers turned on their lights. Everyone froze. 3 iron beds, chains attached. On the beds, blankets with embroidered names: Claire, Sophia, Isabel. On the wall, a chilling message: we were too loud for the silence they wanted. The room no one checked. Scattered on the floor were pencils, water-stained notebooks, and torn pages. Someone comes here at night. The walls breathe. We are forbidden to speak even in hallways. He came today. We tried to be silent. It didn't help. If someone reads this, no, we weren't released. We were punished. Experts found traces of wax, unusual vessels, and charred remains of animals. It all pointed to pseudo-religious rituals, carefully hidden by the church. A mystery denied journals revealed that 3 days before their disappearance, the girls heard organ music, though the chapel was closed. They wrote about smelling burning and iron, and how at night they heard crying that no one else heard. Some believed the monks weren't afraid of the girls. They were afraid of what awakened through them. A former cleric mentioned pure voices that stirred something ancient. One day, after a service, the girls allegedly sang in perfect harmony, and it triggered something else. They were ordered to be silent, permanently, and they became victims of that silence. The final note: a year after the basement was discovered, a former student, now a restorer, found a note sewn into a beam: if someone finds us, let them know. The monks feared our light. They wanted silence, not peace. Forgive us, Lord. It was the final straw. The resolution after the note, authorities were forced to reopen the case. A commission gained access to the Vatican's internal archives, where reports from the 1990s had been sent. Among them was the diary of Father Innocent, a priest no one had mentioned. He wrote, "They wouldn't stop. Their singing in the basement echoed in the walls, answering with voices long forgotten. The eldest said their voices filled my mind. I prayed, but the darkness kept knocking. We attached the chains. We kept silent. With them, Forensics confirmed the girls died from asphyxiation. Pillow fibers contained resin, and their necks bore signs of cloth pulled tightly. They were sedated and strangled, likely during another silencing ritual. Their bodies hadn't decomposed due to the mix of lime and salt in the walls, a sign of deliberate mummification, as if they were to be preserved in eternal silence. The priests responsible were long dead, but the prosecutor's office forced the monastery to officially admit the crime. Memory that does not fade where the school once stood. Now lies a parking lot, but near the wall stand 3 candles. The inscription reads, Claire, Sophia, Isabel. Their silence is too loud. Every year, people gather there. They speak in whispers. Some say they hear chains rattling underground. Now we know what really happened. The girls were killed because they dared to break the silence, because truth lived in their voices. They were meant to be silenced forever, but the voice of memory proved louder.